I'm meeting Ryan. I'm after him right now. But I was like, why? He's like, he's dating Danielle. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, he was going to kill him.
Because Danielle was very quiet.
Yeah.
Danielle was the quiet one.
Yes.
I was the one that they thought was going to give them the most problems.
Yes.
Right.
But, I mean, maybe I did. I don't know. But,
Well, just all the cars that you wrecked.
From the business capital of the world, the Big Apple, New York's Middle Tennessee, it says here. Sounds riveting. You bet. This is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, a podcast about Middle Tennessee business owners and professionals.
That's right.
Mostly.
Yes, as always, thank you, Mr. Matt Wilson from the Mostly Marketing Podcast. He decided was so nice to just do the voice for me for this particular podcast when we rebranded it. Previously known as the What's Your Problem Podcast. Now it is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, where we talk to Middle Tennessee business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals about their stories, their problems, their challenges, all that fun stuff, because there's a haven of entrepreneurial activity going on all over Middle Tennessee, and our guests today are of no exception. This is a video and audio podcast. Check us out at MMTBP.com, because Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast.com is a mouthful, so I had to truncate it down to initials. MMTBP.com. I'm your host, Jim McCarthy, with JimMcCarthyVoiceovers.com and It'sYourShow.co. And today our special guests are, I'm going to say, Middle Tennessee legends. They've been around quite some time. They did move into the area at some point. We're going to find out about it. But if you're in the food service industry, you want to leave a legacy of a business, this is a great podcast episode for you to tune into, because today, hailing from, I'm going to say, the Brentwood, Franklin area, correct? We got the Macca family here. Say hello.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
If you guys in Nashville have heard of Joey's House of Pizza, you know the Macca family. You guys have been around for quite some time. It's almost like you can go there to get a really authentic New York slice of pizza, but also be entertained.
Correct.
That's correct.
That is what you're largely known for in the area, because it doesn't exist anymore. You guys have gone in a different direction, right?
Right.
Correct.
You're going into the event business and everything like that, right? We've
Correct.
got, first of all, we got Stephanie
Hello.
Crescenza.
Yes, hello.
And the one and only Joey.
Hey, what's going
How
on?
you doing? Thanks for being on today.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? It's good to talk to people that, I grew up around a lot of Italians in the 70s and 80s. And it's when a friend of mine, when we moved here, finding New York pizza was a challenge, because what they think of pizza down here is entirely different from what we know it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, we educated people for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. And once you have it, you can't forget
a
it.
great experience on ordering pizza.
Right. A very entertaining experience.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say entertaining, it's you'd go into the store. I believe the lore was that you didn't open on weekends.
Correct.
Because you wanted to be the guy touching the pizza, making sure there's quality control all in place, right? But with a family dynamic, especially a passionate family dynamic.
Yes.
Crescenza, you were typically taking the orders at the counter, and you were always friendly.
Well, she was collecting the money.
Collecting the money.
No, I was taking the orders.
Yes.
And I was taking the money.
Right.
And I was making the food too.
Right.
The entrees for everybody.
Juggling.
So it wasn't just like, I wasn't just a cashierist.
Right.
I was also doing food.
But generally, at some point, you'd be waiting in line. And Crescenza, typically for me, was always the one to agree. Hi, how you doing? You're always very, pleasant and everything.
Yes.
And then, be like, hey, we need this. All right. Just how you doing, honey? And that was the fun. That was the best part about it. That's what I missed. I mean, it was like growing up with my mom. Re-experiencing those types of experiences. Tell me the story, though. How did it all begin? You guys, you grew up in the Northeast, obviously.
Yes.
Right.
Was it Brooklyn?
Yes, Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yes.
And married in the early 80s?
Yeah, we got married in 85.
Okay, 85.
But he was doing pizza from when he was like 14 years old.
Right.
But I didn't know him then.
Right.
Did all the pizza guys know each other in the area?
Not really.
No?
But I worked in a pizzeria that was very famous, and everyone throughout the boroughs knew about L&B Spumoni Gardens.
Right.
And they were famous for their Sicilian pizza.
Yeah, and which is something that a lot of people just know as thick crust pizza.
Right. They don't know about the thick crust pizza out here. They like the thin crust.
Right.
Or they like the grandma pizza, the cracker square pizza.
Right.
But and they also like to see the cheese on top of the sauce.
Right.
In Spumoni Gardens, we sliced our mozzarella, and then we laid it down like a deck of cards.
Right.
And then we put the sauce on top, and then grated cheese and oil. And we used to sell 500 trays a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And there was 24 slices in a pie.
That's a big pie.
Yeah. It was a big sheet pan.
Yeah.
When I was working there, I think we were selling a half a square for $12.50.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, so the whole square would have been like $25 or something like that.
Right.
Now it's like $80
Yeah.
for a whole square.
Yeah.
Or $40 for half.
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't get, man. It's once you've had it, once you move away from it, you miss it.
Right.
Because we moved to Vegas in 2001, and for 4 years, I think towards the end of our time there, we finally found some place that came close.
Right.
It wasn't the real deal. Even though they have New York as a casino out there, it's not the real deal.
Right.
You know, we went to New York City about a month ago, and it's like so great. You can just throw a rock and get great pizza, no matter where you go.
True.
You know?
But there's not that many Italians making pizza anymore in New York. They've moved on to other things.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, the older generation obviously retires or dies off, and their kids don't want to make pizza. They want to eat the pizza.
Yeah. So you guys end up, wanting to move down here.
Well, me and my brother were looking to open up a restaurant in one of the boroughs.
Right.
And we just couldn't click with any of them. We were looking for locations, like a store shell, an empty store shell, or an existing restaurant.
Right.
And, we didn't care what they did or the value they had. We just knew it had to be a good location, and we would change everything. And we just couldn't click with anything.
Right.
And this was back in 85, excuse me.
Yeah.
No, 86.
85
86?
going on to 86. We were married maybe 3 months, and we were starting to look.
Right.
So you were still in that time of the city when everything was really, I guess, kind of turning around.
Yeah.
Right.
This is when Koch was mayor.
Yeah.
Eventually it was pre-Giuliani
I didn't care
years.
for the politics. I was never into politics.
Right.
So I didn't care. Right, left, doesn't matter to me.
Right.
It came to me when I moved to Tennessee.
Yeah. But I mean, my parents moved. My mom grew up in the Bronx. My father was a Yonkers kid, which Yonkers at some point was considered farmland.
Right.
It was like the country.
Yeah.
Right.
And they wanted to move, like there was a migration out of the city, I guess in the 70s. And they just wanted to move us out of there. You know, and we grew up in Connecticut.
So
It's nice. Connecticut is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we looked in Connecticut too, and we just couldn't click. And so one day, my brother's old boss, my brother lived in Tennessee before we were looking for the locations, and he says, "Hey, would you be interested in buying the House of Pizza?" And that was in the arcade downtown Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So my brother comes to me and says, "Hey, do you want to move to Nashville?"
But it was because we were getting kicked out of the house because the wife, the lady's son was getting married.
Right.
And then
but
she
that's
said,
not why we went to Nashville. No. We could have got another apartment.
I know, but you wanted to come.
But so my brother goes, there's a pizzeria that I used to work in Nashville, and it has short hours. It's just lunch.
Right.
And there's no dinner. I go, really? Nashville, okay. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
We got in a little Toyota and left.
Just the two of you.
So
No, with Stephanie
So you were.
and with Nelly.
Stephanie,
Oh, really?
Stephanie
Yeah.
and Nelly. I didn't
Nelly
have a car. I didn't have a car in New York.
Right.
So
You're going to need one.
Right.
Pretty much.
So I says, I got to get a car.
Yeah.
So I saw this Toyota Celica GT
This little car
And
we
it-
left.
in a gas station for sale. It was in a gas station and it had a for sale sign on it. I went up to the car to the gas station and I asked the guy in the garage. I go, "What are you asking for that Toyota?"
Yeah.
He goes, $500. I go, "Okay."
He took a chance coming with little kids.
So
a $500
it needed
car.
a clutch.
Yeah.
So I went to my sister and I says, "Hey, could you lend me $400?"
Wow.
She goes, "Of course." So she loaned me the $400 and I got the clutch, and we packed up and moved to Nashville.
Wow.
We got caught in a blizzard coming down from
Yes.
New York because we left in February,
Oh, gosh. What year was that?
1988.
Oh, 88. I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was what, 23?
She was in the back with all these clothes and things, and Danielle was in the car seat.
And
It's
I
like I
had
could
her
barely.
walker on top of the hood of the car.
Oh, nice.
With straps, bungee straps.
So Stephanie, you didn't get the pleasure of growing up in the Northeast pretty much. How old were you at that time?
I was only 3 years old when we moved out here.
Right.
But I used to go back to Brooklyn and visit every year to visit my grandparents and family.
Right.
And I enjoyed it. It was very memorable,
Right.
because it was very distinctive difference between Nashville and Brooklyn.
Right. Oh, how
Oh,
you
big
think?
time. We used to walk
different
everywhere.
planets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I would visit my grandparents, my nonna and nono in Bensonhurst, they lived on 18th Avenue.
No, 19th
Oh,
Avenue
19th Avenue
and 67th Street.
67th Street. We used to walk everywhere, and I was like, man, I can't do this in
No,
Nashville.
You can't.
No.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be allowed.
So you didn't. It's funny because listening to your dialect, you're not going to detect that you're from around here.
Yeah, I guess because I was always around them from when I was little.
Yeah. That's how I grew up. My mom was from the Bronx, and she still
That's it.
speaks like that, and it comes out of me every now and then.
Yes.
Well,
But
the accent was much deeper when we
Yeah.
first came out. It was like
But
Rocky.
I got news for you, buddy. It's
Hey,
still
yo,
pretty deep,
Adrian.
It's still all right.
which is
No,
okay. You know,
I've gotten a little bit of a southern accent.
He
Can you-
says y'all.
do you the y'all?
And I'm fixing to fix something.
Oh, my
anyway.
goodness.
No, the people of Nashville were very good to my family and to me
Yeah.
and to our business. They really took us in.
It was a great.
because
It was a great move. for
Food
us.
is a great, mediator.
Hey, Middle Tennessee electricians, handy women and men, and just those of you needing better commercial LED lighting solutions. Yeah, I know, there's so many of you. I have to tell you, there's another option than just the big orange and blue box stores now. Try j2lighting.com. At j2lighting.com, we have the latest technology in all types of commercial LED lighting, from UFO high bays, drawers, area lights, and shoeboxes, right on down to a slimline wall pack that doesn't look like a fist coming off the wall like most other wall packs do. You get what I'm saying, right? Many of our fixtures are wattage and color temperature selectable, which means you have more control over the brightness and appearance in your dark spaces. Check us out at j2lighting.com for a great local source for your commercial LED lighting ideas, even full color light show dreams. Yeah, totally. That's the letter J and number 2 lighting.com. j2lighting.com.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
learned
Yes.
something in the South.
Yeah.
The people are such good people, caring, but they only give you one chance.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do the right thing for them the first time you meet them, they won't give you that second chance.
They don't do that in New York.
No. New York, you don't get the same customer.
Right.
You barely get a first chance in New York.
Where I worked at Spumoni Gardens, it didn't matter
Yeah.
if you were good or bad. The pizza, they wanted that pizza.
Yeah.
That they came for the pizza, and if they got abused, it was fine.
Well, that's what happened at Joey's. They would get abused
Yeah.
sometimes.
But they knew it was. They
It
knew
was out of love.
But they knew, like, it was like, because I didn't
it was
treat anybody
part
bad.
of the show.
Right.
But it wasn't
was just-
really a show.
I mean,
It
I
was
got the
on
nickname
real.
the Pizza Nazi.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't really a show. That's
It
interesting.
wasn't. It was. I mean, it was all authentic. That's
Yeah.
how we had been asked for years, and this is the truth.
Yeah.
More than 7 times to be on a reality show.
I could see that.
But we always declined because my father didn't want to do it. But because we're not fake, we're real. This
Yeah.
is just how we were, and it wasn't anything personal. It was just
Well, you
the
know-
We
way
wanted everybody to get served quickly,
Yeah.
efficiently. You know what I mean? Great
the mic.
food, and that's why I was always screaming at everybody, like to move the line down. It was like, hurry up, hurry up.
A reality show, you have to bring them to your home too. I didn't
Right.
want to do that.
Right.
Right.
Just do an interview for an hour. That's fine.
Yeah.
But to do it for like months,
Yeah.
that's not me.
Oh, bringing the crew into your home. and stuff
Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I don't
Go-
care about the money.
Right. Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, that's it's a different disposition when you move down here with nothing, and you got
Right.
a family that you're on the line.
Oh,
both of us being dads, we know what the position's
I
like.
had
Yes.
$50 in my pocket,
Right.
and her father paid for our move to come out here with the what was that?
The Mayflower.
The Mayflower.
Mayflower moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
movers.
It was like $5,000 back then.
They
That's
they
it.
lost a
That's
lot
true.
of my stuff
and
though.
my brother bought a house out here
I don't like that.
for me when we got here.
Right.
So
Then we paid him back.
Yeah,
Right.
we paid him back, and so everything was handed over,
Yeah.
and it was very easy to start a business that was already here. From
But you built it into a monster. But
yeah,
Well-
yeah.
Well,
Well, the
was-
business that I inherited when I came to Nashville was a very light lunch, even though it was in the heart of downtown.
Yeah.
You had a lot of different kind of people in there.
Yeah.
They had poker machines back then, and we were serving beer, and just the people that were coming in they looked like hoodlums.
Right.
But they weren't bad people, but they would scare away other customers.
Right.
So I told my brother, look, I can't do this kind of life. I'm in the pizza business. I'm not here to babysit drunks.
Right.
So the poker machines had to go, and the beer had to stop.
Right.
And then we built up the business, the pizza, and it just took off.
Right.
And I didn't like the fact that I had to go downtown all the time. The traffic, this and that. So I says, I want to open up a pizzeria in the suburbs. And what's a better place than Brentwood?
Yeah.
Brentwood's keen.
You were in the Maryland Farms area.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
no,
well,
our first location was in
Moore's Lane,
Moore's
which is
Lane,
Brentwood.
Franklin.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not Franklin, it's Brentwood.
Was
And
the cutoff.
And so we built our first shop there, but I still had my heart to go to Maryland Farms.
Right.
And I got to say, John Cooper, the ex-mayor of Nashville, he gave me my shot.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
He's really a nice guy, John Cooper. I liked him a lot.
Okay.
And he wouldn't let anyone in.
Right.
And I didn't when we were building the store and everything was getting done. My contractor comes to me and says, "Hey, did you pay the water tap fee?" I go, "What's that?" He goes, "You got to pay a water tap fee to get the permit to build."
Huh.
I go, "So how much is it?" He goes, $70,000.
It's chump change. Got that in my couch.
I go, "Are you out of your mind
Yeah.
for a water tap fee?" So John Cooper paid it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
So was that before like the Cool Springs Galleria was there and everything, and before
this was
Cool Springs was Cool Springs?
no, Cool Springs was starting out on the right side, on the west side. The east side, Carruthers, there was nothing going on there.
Oh, I bet.
And I knew it was coming. So I didn't want to stay in that location because it was a small parking lot.
Very small.
And it was in a shopping center, but the parking lot was too small. And we had long hours there. It was from 11 to 10,
Yeah.
6 days a week. So I knew Maryland Farms is an office park, and you have a captive audience of about 30, 40,000 people. So I knew that we could do Monday to Friday from 11 to 4.
Yeah.
And we started that out that way when we opened up there, but the people were complaining, the families.
Yeah.
They wanted us to have dinner. So what I did was I started closing on Monday through Wednesday from 11 to 6:30. Just as when dinner's getting ready, I closed. And then Thursday and Friday, I stayed open till 8. But no weekends. I would not work weekends.
But you basically created a life by design.
Right. So
A pizza by design.
Yeah.
When we sold 2-year lease, 2 5-year leases
Yeah.
in Brentwood to open up on Elm Hill Pike, I said to Stephanie, I says, we gotta create some different kinds of pizzas. And at the time, I was watching Spartacus, Blood and Sand. And I says, oh, we need to call some of these pizzas with the characters that are in Spartacus.
Was that a favorite movie of yours growing up?
Yes.
Not growing up, now.
Now still?
It was the series.
Yeah.
So
You
we
haven't
named-
seen it?
Spartacus?
Yeah.
No.
It's very pornographic.
It's on Stars.
That's why he likes it.
No, I liked
You're a
it because
pig.
of the history.
Right.
Anyway,
No.
so we named one pizza the Gladiator, and it was that was it.
Right.
We created a monster there.
I remember that one because that thing was like, everything in the kitchen sink was.
Well,
Right? No,
No.
it wasn't everything. It
Was
was
it?
just pepperoni, sausage, extra cheese.
Well,
Okay.
it was big.
What was the big one?
The
then?
Badiatis.
That's it, that's
the
it.
Badiatis. which
Badiatis had
He was the Lanista of the Gladiators.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
That was a Meat Lovers. Double crust. And then we had the Doctore, and we had the Gannicus, and we had the Crixus,
Yeah.
and we had the Dominus. So
Did you ever, were you friendly with the other guys in town? You got Sal's, that was in Franklin, and.
I wasn't friends with them.
Right.
I wasn't enemies with them either. We just,
Right.
they mind their business, I mind mine.
There was different kinds of pizza, though, too.
Yeah, but I was the best in the state of Tennessee, hands down.
I completely agree.
I always said,
Well,
you
you still
want
are.
to challenge me? I'll
Right.
challenge anyone, anywhere in the country.
We did do a challenge with that guy.
Vince Gill.
Vince
Not-
Gill.
not Vince
no.
Gill, Steve
Steve
Gill.
Gill.
Steve Gill. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
on
and we won, hands down. Yeah.
WLAC.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Steve Gill.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta try and get him on.
I mean, he didn't even they were blindfolded. Like, they didn't know what pizza they were eating.
Yeah.
And ours was picked.
That's crazy.
I know.
So it's just basically your love of pizza,
I
Joey,
always
since.
used to tell my customers when they walked in, and if whoever listens to this in the future, they'll know it's true. I go, if I'm not the best in the state of Tennessee, I'll pack up and leave tomorrow. I'm not going to be here for second best.
Wow.
I always used to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least 3-4 times a week.
Right. So, Stephanie, what was it like growing up in, pizza?
Well, I used to go to school and then go to the pizzeria in my little girl school outfit.
She
Straight
went to
from
Father
school.
Ryan and St.
And
Edwards.
saying I would go. A lot of people would probably remember me, customers that grew up with Joey's and came in all the time. They would see all the kids, Nelly, John B, my brother, John Bautista. He was the pizza man at the pizzeria for the last 12 years.
Okay.
Or so before.
Pizza man being the guy who actually makes.
Yes,
the
who
pies.
actually, threw the pizza, made the
Right.
pizza,
The master.
made the pizza dough. My father did it for decades, but then my brother took over.
Yeah.
So John B would make the pizzas. He has been in the pizza business since 9 years old. I was 12, and Nelly was probably about 11, right?
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
So
10.
he's the youngest.
He's the
John B
youngest.
is
Okay.
the youngest.
He was born in Nashville.
Right.
Yeah, so he's a native,
Right.
which I think is so cute. But he still says he's from Brooklyn, New York.
He probably
I
sounds
think
like
it's
it.
at heart. I believe it's in his heart.
Yeah.
So the pizzeria was all I, lived and breathed the pizzeria all the time.
Was it kind of one of those things that you guys were like, well, this is the business you're going into, or do you have an opportunity?
Yeah, no. So
No, I didn't do that to her.
I went to school. I
Yeah,
went
she
to college.
college and
I went for criminal justice and psychology. I wanted to be a private investigator. And
she's really good at it.
And you can't get nothing past me.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so I really loved that field. However, I felt, like I had to help out the family business.
Right.
So that's what I did. I went back and helped occasionally, like after school, after college, I would go and help, and then I just got sucked in.
Did you ever have those days where you're like, I just don't want to? I'm so tired with the family.
Yes, but
I worked with my dad too.
Oh my gosh.
And there were days, we did telephone work in the tri-state area, mainly out of Westchester.
Oh,
so
okay.
he was in the White Plains area a lot.
Nice.
And yeah, there were days where I wanted to take my tool bag and just throw it. Like, I'm done.
Yeah,
done.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's a family dynamic,
Stephanie's
right?
case would be, I take my apron off.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
It's very
of
hard
course.
to work with the family.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
very hard.
Very hard.
You take a lot more abuse than you would with
Lot of
anybody
abuse.
else. But, it's all out of love, and it's not easy, but, everything that makes you truly successful in life is going to take grit, a lot of prayer, persistence, and dedication.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Hard work.
And quality and quantity.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Right.
Absolutely.
I
And
would
that's-
always tell my
yeah.
kids, I want quality and quantity.
Right.
We want to exceed expectations as well,
Like-
Oh, of course.
When we first started the Gladiator, it was $6.75 a slice.
Right.
Before we closed the store, it was $12.75 or $13 a slice. I can't remember.
Really?
Well, that was just because of, the prices of ingredients.
Yeah.
For instance, we make everything fresh: dough, sauce, shred our own cheese, everything. But it doesn't matter even if you're putting in that work and you're not you're not necessarily going up in price because of labor. It's because of the actual ingredients that have almost doubled in price.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
But the customer always said, "Are you kidding me? I don't care how much it costs. I
Yeah.
got to have a slice."
Right.
God
And I
God
go,
bless them.
You know,
Really. God
they
bless.
truly were great people, and
The best.
we are here today with a venue because of them.
Yeah.
A wedding venue that now, from serving families for years and watching their kids grow up, now we want to join their kids in matrimony.
Oh, wow.
At our venue, and hopefully that it'll get the same publicity and talked about as Joey's House of Pizza did.
Yes, and I have to add that it's not just a wedding venue. It's an event venue for any occasion. So that's also corporate
True,
events, meetings,
Yeah.
quinceañeras.
And this is out in Murfreesboro?
Yes, it's
Okay.
about 30-ish minutes away from downtown Nashville.
Okay.
And we have the capabilities of a full service Joey's House of Pizza on site.
Right.
So that means that we can serve you all of our menu items made fresh on site.
Whatever the restaurant used to serve, we could serve out at the venue.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Plus
Probably-
more.
I would imagine a lot of people expect that.
Well,
Yeah.
We
the
have
reason
our
why
pizza
we did this is
ovens and
because
everything.
I'm sorry, Steph.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry.
We used to do weddings
Yeah.
like all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We used to be called and say, "Hey, could you cater our wedding? Could you cater our
Weren't you
wedding?"
at a wedding? I think.
We were a couple of years ago. We were at a wedding that you catered.
Yes.
And
We've
you know,
catered thousands
I know.
of events.
But here's the fun
So,
thing: is
yeah.
that it was like time to. I think the cake was cut, and
She was dancing.
she was
cutting it.
dancing. Yeah, she was having a gay old time for herself, and I'm like, I got to get this on video. This is just.
And you did a fantastic
Thank
job
you.
doing it.
That was one of the things I'm like, this is why I love these
dance.
people. Yeah.
I love to dance.
You were in your own world. You know, didn't care who was looking or nothing. It was
I don't
fun.
care.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
yes,
care.
that's what inspired us
Mm-hmm.
to do this event center, was because we had catered thousands of events in the last almost 3 decades of being Joey's House of Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Several from corporate events to weddings. And
Mm-hmm.
we were on Wedding Wire. When we had the pizza truck, people would call us to do their weddings. And at first I was like, who?
Food truck weddings.
I was like, who
Really?
would call a pizzeria for their wedding? I was so confused. I was like, is this a thing? Which, no disrespect to anybody. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I'm 100% for that, especially.
Well,
but
it's
I
pretty
was,
common in the South,
Well,
food truck weddings.
I was just very surprised that they wanted pizza at their wedding. Well, now it's become where it's actually I don't want to say an elegant thing, but it's like a traditional, you must have, especially like, so what we're doing is we're offering our charcuterie cocktail service, dinner service, which is served family style with our traditional pastas. And let's say, you know, like you could pick a protein such as chicken parm or homemade meatballs, Italian sausage, lasagna, baked ziti, for instance. These are just examples. And then we have our dessert display, beautiful, all homemade desserts. Yeah. And then we do pizza late night snack, which is the famous Joey's House of Pizza.
Nice.
And all this is done fresh on site for any event, but particularly weddings is what we're getting booked for.
Oh, nice. So that's something that this is the eventualities where it led to, right?
We did one event with the cheerleaders.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It was a banquet for cheerleaders. And then we have, in May, we have
graduation.
We have
a few.
A person that he's actually going to become a priest.
Right.
He's graduating to become a priest. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, getting back to the original storyline of what you guys started, you know, you had some branch offs that happened. You had Joey's that opened in Spring Hill. Yeah. And then you have Nelly's down here, which is your daughter.
Yes.
And it's, you know, that place gets rave reviews constantly.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you know, look what you created. Both of you, you know?
Yep.
That's, you know,
Nelly's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Stephanie's a determined worker.
No.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
I mean,
they're both, all my kids are great
different
workers.
personalities, but the same concept.
Yes. They have a good...
it's not an easy business, restaurant.
Ethics, you know, their work ethics are great.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Nelly's taught me so much. She really has, and she's my younger sister.
Yeah.
Seriously. You know, I'm a little, sometimes I was a little rough around the edges, you know, just trying to get everything in line at the pizzeria. It's not an easy job, you know? And so, but Nelly taught me a lot. You just got to relax a little bit.
Did you guys
That's not possible.
Did you see the episode when Ryan and Nelly were on the show a couple years ago?
It was beautiful.
Yes.
And you heard Ryan's story about, you know, when he started working, he came under your wing, I guess, at some point.
Absolutely.
And it was one of those things where I guess the day came where he wanted to ask.
Oh my God.
Nelly's hand in marriage.
He was going to kill him, I swear to God.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't.
I would never think that my daughter would do something like that.
Do what? He's a great guy.
Bring the microphone a little closer.
At the time,
yeah.
I wasn't happy, but now he's like
He's a son, yeah.
He's your son.
He's another son of mine. You know,
But
whenever I need something,
he's not FBI though, is he?
He doesn't complain.
No.
He just says, "When do you need me?"
Yeah.
He's the best. We love him.
Yeah, we love him.
He's for the family.
Yeah.
But that was a shock, though.
Really?
Like, it was a shock because...
Did you know they were dating at all?
No.
Really?
No. I think she knew. Stephanie knew.
No, you didn't even know?
I didn't know because she knew I wasn't going to be like, what?
Wow.
Well, because he was Ryan's a little older than her.
7
You know,
years.
7 years.
Is he 7 years older?
Yeah, but now it's no big deal. But back
course.
then, I was
Back
like,
then?
are you crazy?
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So I was like, what is going on? So anyway, he calls me and he's like...
But,
just all the cars that you wrecked.
But yeah, I mean, Nelly was very quiet, and we just, you know, didn't know that she would be having a relationship with Ryan. But I think it's because they became such great friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was, you know, really, they're perfect for each other.
Well, they have a beautiful business and 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
Yes.
And 4 dogs.
And 4 dogs.
Another very successful business, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Very.
crazy.
They got good heads on their shoulders. And,
Very good.
Loved by the community and fully
and also,
embraced.
he makes a hell of a waffle and chicken and waffle.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had the Waffle Boss.
They had that too.
Yeah. They had the Waffle Boss for a season as well.
Yes.
Yeah, when Joey's went away, I was like, man, because I live down here.
Right.
You know, and then,
yeah. Whenever they were out here as Joey's.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they made the announcement, we're coming back. Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Because that's the thing is like, you know, my brother and I talk about it all the time and how, listen to the New York coming out of me all of a sudden. You immerse me and it just starts popping out. And he's like, he lives in the Detroit area. And he's like, I'm going to take you for good pizza. Last time I was up there, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's close, but it's no cigar. I tell you.
Yeah.
And it's just difficult, man. Especially with all the people. I would imagine that you resonated with a lot of people moving in over the years, especially from the Northeast, or probably were they like me? Did you get a lot of similar stories like that?
Yes, yes.
We did, but we also converted a lot of people. The Southerners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They didn't know. But when they tasted our food, they were like, oh my God,
that's the
what
difference.
have we been eating?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is real food.
Been eating
this
crackers
is real
with ketchup and
yeah, like unbelievable. Yeah. So we converted.
We were on Elm Hill.
Yeah.
You know, the tourists that would come to Tennessee, they would, go online and say Italian restaurant or pizza, and we would pop up as number one on TripAdvisor, and they would come to our store, and like they would be flabbergasted after they ate the food, and they would say, "Oh, you need to come to Arizona or Texas or this or that." I go,
they all wanted us in their
take care
state.
of Tennessee. You want me to come out there?
Yeah.
But
no, you can come out here. That's fine.
But Vegas, I always wanted to go to Vegas and do a pizzeria out there, but now it's too late. But
let me ask you this:
Did you
when you guys moved from New York, was that like the first time you had ever been out of the state, or
yes.
really?
Yes.
Never left New York State.
Wow.
We were still young.
You went to Italy, though. You've been to Italy.
Oh, no. He means like doing pizza. Is that what you mean?
Well, just in general. I mean, because the reason why I ask is that our first big adventure, Courtney and I, we were 3 months away from getting married. I got a job in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And that was our first big. We had never been west of the Mississippi.
Okay, the same thing with us. Like the first big move, was Nashville.
Right.
That's it. I mean,
but you've been to other parts of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
My father said that.
In Florida, you got big fish.
Yeah.
And and
you got a lot of people that moved up.
Small fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
In Florida, big fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
They got good Italian food in Florida.
Yeah, that they do. I would absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just there actually. Went down there. I was in South Florida recently, and the Cuban food. My goodness.
Nice.
Yeah,
What a great community.
Miami's bursting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that community down there.
Yeah.
Very nice people.
So going on, there's another big thing that happened with you guys when you were in the Elm Hill store. Mm-hmm. Old Dave Pomeroy showed up, right?
Portnoy.
Portnoy, that's right.
Portnoy.
I'm thinking Pomeroy for something.
I know.
There's a
I
Dave
was like,
Pomeroy
maybe
in
he's
town.
named a different way. I don't know. I
That's
correct
Portnoy.
you.
President El
He's a hell of a
Capitan.
nice guy.
President.
Yeah,
Real good guy.
Presidente of
It was
Barstool
so funny.
Sports.
It was so funny. So one of the guys from Bussin' with the Boys had reached out to us on Instagram.
To you.
To me.
Not to me.
Well, to Joey's, and I'm in charge of the Instagram, and he was like, "Hey," he said, "we're having our 100th episode, and we are going to bring Dave Portnoy," and I was like, "Oh, please don't." I said, "Listen, all due respect," I said, "we're very busy. We appreciate the gesture, but we're not going to be able to handle the business if he comes here, because regardless if he likes it or not, we're going to be slammed." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh man, okay, I understand." Well, Dave Portnoy didn't care. He said, "F that, I'm going anyway."
Right.
Yep.
So, anyways, when he walked in, I literally in my head was like, "Okay, good, he's not coming."
Right.
But
what was the timeline between you saying no and him showing up?
a couple of hours.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
It was like
So you knew that morning?
That morning, because he had texted me that morning. I believe it. Honestly, I can't remember 100%, but I believe it was either the morning before or that same morning. The guy from Bussin' with the Boys had Instagram me, and then I see Dave Portnoy walking through the door, and I said, "What are you doing here? I thought I told you I didn't want you to come." And he just looked at me and laughed, and he was like, "Oh my God."
Are we getting this on camera?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so he got his pie. We gave him, the hand-tossed classic cheese pie.
Yeah.
And I had told him, I said, "Listen," I was like, "I followed you. Like, I follow your videos. I know what you like. Mm-hmm. You like a very super thin paper plate, very
bar pizza.
Bar pizza." I was like, "You like it black on the bottom. You like it dry on top." And he was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, listen, no disrespect." I was like, "But we don't make it like that here." Mm-hmm. I was like, "So we're going to make you our pizza the way we make it for everybody. We're not going to change." Mm-hmm. So we gave that to him. We also gave him one of our authentic, very well-known Sicilian pies, like my dad was saying, from L&B, with the sauce on top and cheese on the bottom. Mm-hmm. We gave him that, and he really loved both of them. I think he loved the Sicilian probably even more.
Right.
We got a 8.5 on the Sicilian.
Has anybody gotten like a 10?
Oh no, not a 10, but they've gotten in the 9s.
Yeah,
really?
he's you know
I think
he's,
he gave somebody a 10. I can't remember the name.
he called
He's a
it
misguided
that
soul.
was a rookie score. He said that's when he was a rookie at grading pizza. But you know, so we are like, he really enjoyed it, but he said that the regular pie was probably like on the heavier side for him.
Yeah.
Because he likes it paper thin.
Yeah.
But we got a fantastic score.
And light cheese.
Yes.
What's that?
Less cheese.
He likes less cheese. Yeah.
Oh, really?
But anyway.
It's so subjective.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like I say, who makes this guy the authority of pizza?
Yeah.
You know, I'm the chosen one in the state of Tennessee. I always just say I'm the chosen one.
I have to be honest though, we were ecstatic with his review, with his presence at the pizzeria.
He's a
Yeah, but you're
gentleman.
leaving out an
He was a
integral
gentleman.
part of the story.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
because-
leaving the
Yeah, because apparently you didn't like the review he gave you. And you're like, get back in here.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, because I wanted to let him know, you know, you're not in charge here, mister.
You're totally posturing him.
This is our property. This is our pizzeria property here.
Yeah,
No, but
she
he
was
was
like, I don't
awesome.
like that score.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was like, try this.
Well, but yeah, no, he was awesome. And I have to be honest, his reviews are not as entertaining as the one that he had at our store.
Really?
Like,
No,
I
that's
don't
true.
know. I would just have to say, out of honesty,
It was funny.
Like, it was just
funny.
fun. It was like, that was the most reality video that, you know, you're going to get from us, because he didn't want to go on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
So that was like our reality TV skit with Dave
And this was
Portnoy.
during COVID, where the dining room was closed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you could
Oh,
sit
my
down
goodness,
inside.
yes.
People wearing masks.
Yeah.
You know.
But did you get inundated after that? Did it actually happen, or is like, you know, as I guess your worst nightmare kind of thing, or?
Oh yeah, we were slammed. We had already had like hundreds of people lined up. I would say like daily we would have probably a minimum of 50 to 60 people lined up before he came. When he came and after he gave his review, there were hundreds.
Really?
And they were all the way past the street, like down near the Shane Trucking.
Well,
Right.
we had that when we opened up the first day on Elm
Yeah,
Hill.
we did. But, you know, eventually things kind of, you know, level out. But
Yeah.
with this, it wasn't going away.
Yeah.
Until this day. Till this day, I get phone calls, emails, requests constantly. And they call, like, because the number listed is the business cell that I carry, and I take orders constantly for it, you know, because we still cater. We cater all over Middle Tennessee.
What's the
so
minimum charge for catering?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. It's just, you know, I have to consult and we can discuss it. But we usually do larger orders, but don't hesitate to call just in case.
So basically, if somebody wants a taste of Joey's, you're gonna have to just place a big order. That's all.
Well, either that,
Just not a big problem.
or eventually we will offer TripAdvisor experiences, which I'll talk about soon to come, where we can actually have the taste of Joey's at the venue.
Right.
Where-
Yeah, get people familiar with it and everything.
Yes,
I was going to say.
absolutely. Like it'll be like a whole experience where you can come and have delicious fresh pizza and pasta,
Just like on a
live
Saturday
music,
or something,
yes.
right?
Wine,
Yeah.
music.
delicious wine, music, charcuterie, pizza.
Are you? So is that going to be a regular thing? You think, in terms of?
At least a couple of times a month.
Right. Oh,
Possibly,
really?
yes. It depends how
So
many.
you're opening up, so I can be like, hey, I know that Joey's. You're what's the place is called?
It's
Forgive
called
me.
Macca Villa at Riverside.
Okay.
So, or you can just shorten it for Macca Villa.
Right.
So, Macca Villa is the modern new build, which we have created over the last 7 months. And Riverside is a historic property which has a historical home on it. It's almost 200 years old. So we're blending the two styles together, the two characteristics of the Southern charm and then our Southern Italian roots. So we've created Southern Italian hospitality at Macca Villa at Riverside.
Speaking of which, have you guys ever done like Ancestry or anything like that? Trace your
No,
roots back?
no.
You're pretty confident where you come from.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? You never know. But
That's what happened to me.
Really?
You know,
No way.
I thought I was
Sicily got conquered many times. So.
right. You are a history buff.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
these things. I found that we recently did Ancestry, and we'd always like my brother would always put my mom on and say that he didn't say that we had some ridiculous result. So my wife and I do it, and she starts howling laughing. I'm going, what? She says, "You're not going to believe this. You're 41% Jewish." I said,
No way.
really?
Wow.
That's interesting. On whose side? Your mother's. Well, that makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, it was
I think maybe with me, I might have some Greek.
I could see that. There's some intermingling there. You know, it's right next door.
I think so because my last name, my maiden name is DeFilippis.
Right.
So they always
There's
say
a lot
if
of Greek in that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't end with an O or an I or an E, you know,
Yeah.
any vowel, it's not Italian.
Right.
So mine is an S.
My family always thought that there might have been a possibility we could be a McCarthy, like Scottish descent.
Oh,
Right.
And on Ellis Island, they just screwed up the A and
Of
made it a
course.
C.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I don't think that's. I think it was mainly we're
I
a
always,
lot Irish.
yeah, I always thought that Macca could have been shortened for like macaroni or
Right.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean that's crazy. So I mean, Southern Italian
that wasn't
roots.
changed at Ellis Island.
When did your
My grandmother,
your grandmother came over,
yeah, my mother's mother.
and you guys have been to Italy and everything? You've been overseas.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to go there.
Stephanie got married in Italy.
It's
Really?
Sicily.
In
Yes.
Sicily.
She got married on a mountain.
When she first told me, she said, "Mom, we're getting married, and I want to get married on a mountain
In Sicily.
in Sicily." I said, "Yeah, okay, goodbye."
Everyone, everybody
"Good
was,
luck."
everyone was so like negative about it, and they were like, "Oh, that's so
Impossible.
not disrespectful, but that's so like you're not thinking about everybody." I'm like, I don't want to think about everybody because I do that from morning till night.
Right.
Running the pizzeria,
Right.
I'm always concerned with everybody, all the customers, all just all the duties that are entangled in that.
You're
And
constantly serving people.
Constantly. So I was like, you know what? If you can't make it, no problem, no hard feelings. But we closed the pizzeria for 3 weeks. We flew the whole family out. Well, not the whole family, but my mother, father, my sister, brother, my husband, and I, and
His family came.
his family.
Right.
My husband is Persian,
Okay.
and there was about, I think, 20-ish Persians that came
Wow.
to Sicily. So, and then I met a bunch of my wonderful family members in Sicily, a lot of cousins, and my cousin Rita, she was actually the inspiration for Macca Villa, and I'll tell you why. So she has a farm there, an aromatic farm. It's called Gli Aromi. It's spelled Gliaromi. But you pronounce it Gli Aromi.
Right.
And it's an aromatic farm with herbs everywhere. And what they do is they're a TripAdvisor destination experience in Sicily.
Right.
People come from all over the world to go there. And it inspired me because not only do they have that special venue, but they cook for you fresh on site with all the herbs that are made on the property, and then it overlooks the Mediterranean Sea.
That's
It's
gorgeous.
just gorgeous.
I
It's
bet.
just gorgeous.
Well, I mean, had I, been sent an invitation to your wedding,
Yeah.
I would have come.
I know.
Typically, the long distance weddings, I'm like, oh, thank gosh, I don't want to have to go. But it's like you tell me Italy, that's
Oh
a
my
destination
goodness.
country.
Well, I mean, it was just out of this world. I didn't even, I was not Bridezilla. I didn't pick any of my
Nope, she
colors
didn't.
or anything.
Nope.
I had my dress made here in Nashville. We carried it all the way to Sicily.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any problems with anything. It was a wonderful day.
Because I told her, I said, "Listen, let me tell you something. You want to go to Italy? Whatever you get is what you get. Don't cry to me that morning. Don't come screaming. Nothing. You better shut your mouth." And she did. She was just like, "Oh, well, maybe the lady." Shh.
Now, Joey, was it one of those things where you're like, oh gosh, you want to get married?
Well,
Yes.
like to
He
fly
didn't do that. Yeah, exactly.
It was pretty bad. I had to fight for months to get this to go
Yes. He doesn't like to fly.
Right.
And he had to go on like 4 airplanes.
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
we're in the process right now of it's college time for my oldest.
Oh, yeah.
And, I've already set the stage and postured to her that, look, if there's anything involving college debt,
Right.
forget about it.
Forget about it.
Because you can't get out from underneath that. It's very
can't.
difficult.
It's
You
very
see what's
hard.
happening in the country and stuff like that. I said, this is, and you don't, honestly, you got to specialize kind of, I want you to find out who you are first.
Right.
Go out and do your thing.
Exactly.
And figure out who you are. Because I'm living proof that you can do it without a college education, even though they told us growing up, well, if you don't get a college education, my parents believed it too. You're destined to be a loser,
right?
Absolutely,
Essentially,
right?
Yeah.
And I ended up learning a trade and stuff like that, working with my dad.
Amazing.
But it was one of those things that I was kind of impressed to her that look. She's like, well, I want to do music. Great, 30 miles north. You're right in the backyard of the heart of Music Central. But I mean, that's the kind of same thing we're going through right now. Because eventually, Dad, I want to get married, and it's going to like, I'm going to refinance.
Just call Machiavelli.
I got to refinance.
That's good though to know that you guys do the like open house type of approach. Correlating that to, hey, this is the Joey's House of Pizza experience that you're going to get on a Saturday, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Do you actually book the bands and stuff like that? Or you have bands that express an interest to play out there?
We haven't gotten to that level yet where we've pondered, and we've just been pondering with this idea with having like an experience at the venue with,
because our first wedding is April 12th.
Yeah, that's our first wedding.
That's our first wedding.
Really?
Yes.
So you guys are just getting getting your toe in the water.
And our second one is April 22nd.
And then the second one is April 20th. And then we have them like sporadically, around. But
so have you monetized it at all? Because it's been going on for quite a while now.
Yes. So. Well, it was just, it took a while to get everything in line. Yeah. But everything worked out beautifully. Mm-hmm. And then we had to build everything.
Right, okay.
That took some time. I was pretty much the GC of the job, even though I had a GC as well. Mm-hmm. But I kind of pieced it all together and did
That's a fun job, isn't it?
Oh. I was joking around with my GC, but I kind of wasn't. I was like, I'm going to start an all-women-owned construction business.
I would applaud you for that.
Because I know I can guarantee that we'll make sure everything gets done on time.
Yeah,
and right.
She worked like crazy.
I
was like, but that contract is here. Why are you doing all this work?
Well, because you just got to make sure that it's done properly.
Right. So you have like a personal investment in it, kind of, this is what you want to see it a certain way.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, that's the thing is about the trade space is that you have a lot of people. It attracts a certain kind of person that is doing it. They're not thinking of it like a career. They think of it like a job.
Well, they should look at it like, hey, this person's going to love my work and recommend me. Because some of the people I used, I will not recommend.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Which is just as bad as going and writing a bad review, which I'm not really.
We don't really do that.
I don't
do review things.
Right.
I personally believe that, hey, you work for us, you do a job. If I recommend you to 100 people, that's even better than a review.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely the word of mouth is going to spread one way or the other.
Oh, it's going to spread like wildfire.
Yeah. So congratulations. I'm glad to help you kind of launch this thing and get the word out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
But as far as correlating, do people know that it's you guys?
I think so, because for the last year and a half, we've been slowly but surely advertising that the Joey's House of Pizza family has now created an event venue with Joey's catering being cooked fresh on site.
Right.
So I'm not sure put it this way. I know that I would say maybe we have a long way to go with advertising.
Right. Well, but I would imagine if you do what you're talking about, the open houses, you get people in, they see the place, and it'll take care of itself.
But it will be by like invitation only. Like you can't just show up.
Okay. Well, I mean that's something to kind of ponder, though. I mean, at some point, if you could accommodate a general audience, with a band and stuff like that. Hey, for a dinner, $100 for a couple to come out of a nice date night. Yes. I've got a band that I'm actually been pining for months. I had these guys on not too long ago. They have a Huey Lewis and the News tribute band.
Oh, okay.
And they're amazing.
Oh, cool.
Utterly amazing.
That sounds really familiar.
I know. That's what I was saying.
I just had them on the podcast maybe a month ago.
So maybe we watched the podcast.
You watch it. You hire the band. That's part of the package, right? So on a Saturday, you open it up. Hey, we're selling tickets, that kind of a thing.
Right.
Entertainment venue, but it includes a 3-course dinner, all that stuff.
Amazing,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Have you thought of that? Or?
Yes.
Yes, we have, and we have a fantastic speaker system and the whole
Audio sound system.
audio sound. We
All
have
the
great
PA.
lighting.
DJ's paradise. He doesn't have to bring any equipment.
Nice.
But his turntable or his phone. Whatever he uses to create music.
It goes without saying that when you do the invite only, I will be eagerly awaiting those in the mail.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes,
God. Well, I
yes.
didn't mean it like I'm going to
Not for
invite.
nothing,
It's
you
going to
know
be
what I
like,
mean?
like an Eventbrite
Yeah.
situation where
Right.
they would have to purchase a ticket, something like that. Like I'm not going to reach out personally to everybody, but
Right.
I will for you, Jim.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's because it's even though we're always been kind of like acquainted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We weren't. Now we're developing a relationship and stuff like that. I've always been a
Absolutely.
champion of you guys from
Oh,
afar.
God bless you. I know you have. Thank you.
So I forgot to ask them a very pertinent question. Going from Joey's House of Pizza to Macca Villa, why? Why was that decision made?
Oh, well, I'll tell you why in a nutshell. So the restaurant business is a changing business. The climate is changing.
Right.
Not that Joey's wouldn't have thrived. We would. But it gets harder and harder in the sense where because of food cost and labor costs, things go up tremendously.
Right.
And it causes a huge difference in what you're resulting, or what your results
Yeah, I
will
mean,
be.
like, not to interrupt my daughter, the Gladiator would have been $18 a slice
Wow.
by now.
Wow.
And a soda, a fountain drink would be $5 a cup. Because people go back for seconds,
Right.
And because it's really like you get to a certain point, you're like, we need to slow down.
Right.
Flour
It was
used
just
to
a rat
cost
race.
$10 a bag at one time. Now, and then it went from that to like $40 a bag.
Yeah. I
Now-
remember, the Cupcake Collection.
Yes.
Yeah. The
Phil-
Jan.
yes,
She's
yes.
a great friend of mine.
She's a doll.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. And she was talking about that. Just how
Oh,
everything's
yeah.
just going. She started that
Absolutely.
business just wanting to help people get put joy in their day for $1.50 and get a really good cupcake.
Absolutely. Well, see, that's not the main reason why we decided to do the venue.
Right.
We sincerely love to host, entertain, and feed people.
So, like
We
when I saw you guys a couple of
sincerely-
years ago,
yes.
you were in your element.
Yes,
Or
we
you
love
were
it.
you were evolving into that element.
Yes.
Right.
So we truly enjoy, and we said, well, you know what? We've catered all these events. Why not have our own event venue where we can do it on site?
Right.
So that's what we did.
And having to be, at a place every day, 5 days a week. Now
Yeah.
you can now that's flipped.
Yes.
You just got to do
Right.
your weekends at this
Yes.
point, right?
Oh, yeah. And we don't like to work weekends, but I don't consider that work.
Well, the thing is that you're 5 days a week.
Right.
You're all your time to yourself, pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
Right.
What is the other thing for you guys? Because I see, like in my 50s, my 60s, our golden years. I've always told Courtney, and whether or not she agrees, we're working on that. In an RV, you know what I mean, having a place down by the water.
That's
that
what
kind of
he
thing.
liked.
Yes.
But-
Right? Is that what you
Yes.
want to do?
He'll
Yes.
get bored quick with that.
But you got to do it until you
I
get
was
out of your system.
watching something on Instagram or Facebook, I can't remember, about Elon Musk selling these container homes for
Oh, stop it.
for $10,000.
Oh, God.
I said, Chris, look at these container homes. We could buy a little piece of property and have that on there.
There's no joke. He
I
shows me
wouldn't
this
mind
house.
living there. So we went to
10,000?
Tesla over there on Moore's Lane
Yeah.
We walked in.
to the dealership, and they go, "We don't know nothing about that." I go,
Forget
"You what?"
the cars. I want to know about these houses you
Yeah.
make.
I was like,
and then the guy
"Excuse
goes,
me."
"Wait a minute, are you from Joey's House of Pizza?"
Yeah.
He got down on his knees and he goes, "Let me kiss your hand."
Yeah, I was like, this is so embarrassing. What is he doing?
That's another thing. Everywhere I went, I got stopped.
Right.
So
You are very recognizable.
yeah.
We could not put Joey's House of Pizza to rest.
Right.
This is just an elevation of Joey's House of Pizza.
Right.
This is just taking it to the next level. we're still going to be able to serve people all the time. It's just going to be in a different style. Different style.
Well, I mean, you're also kind of putting a premium because you've limited the supply in a way.
Right.
And the demand is still
what
there.
we're doing is bringing two people together in matrimony.
Right.
Holy matrimony. And that's a good feeling too.
Yeah.
But we don't want to just do that. We want to do any event.
Right.
Like corporate meetings and stuff like that, or just whatever floats your boat.
How many people can you have?
We could have, when we finish the extension on the overhang of the venue, we could have 200 people in there.
Right.
Right now, maybe 130.
No, 150.
Oh, 150.
That's a lot of people. That's a pretty good amount of people.
Yeah. I mean, people have to realize, they say, I got 200 people. Well, get ready. 20, 30, 40 of them not going to show.
Right.
Or if they do, they don't stay long.
Where in Murfreesboro is it?
It's on West Jefferson Pike. You take A40, get off at Smyrna exit 61.
Okay.
You make a right, and it's 3 miles on the left. 1218 West Jefferson Pike.
So not the main 24 exit, the next one?
No. It's the A40.
Okay.
You could take 65 to A40 or 24 to 840. If you take 24, you got to go Lebanon, Knoxville.
Okay. Yeah.
If you take 65, you just take A40, Murfreesboro.
So if you're on 840, though, the exit for 24, it would just be that next exit.
It's exit 61.
61,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's one exit up from the Speedway.
Yeah, Nashville Speedway.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty cool. I'd like to do business with them as well.
Well, I mean, hey, put it out there.
Yeah, we want to do business with everybody.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, especially doing catering and events at that place, I mean, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, but it's not just the venue. You're going to be able to do and bring it other places.
Absolutely, yeah. All over.
And I think you're going to do just fine.
Thank you.
From your lips to God's ears.
I say complete confidence by saying that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
So doing the RV thing is that something you want to do? Or?
Well,
He could do it.
I could do the RV thing, but
He could do it.
I'm starting to have trouble driving at night.
Right.
And I used to love to drive at night. When we used to go to New York, we used to leave at 10 o'clock at night. Like that,
Drive straight through.
the kids would fall asleep by the time I hit Bristol.
Right.
And then they would wake up in Jersey. So
my father did the same thing. He was a big RV guy.
Yeah.
And that's all they did. I never stepped foot on a plane. I think I was 14 years old the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was because all our vacations were always in an RV. So that's how I grew up.
Well,
he loved
Nice.
that pizza truck that I had, Joey's House on Wheels, Joey's House of Pizza on Wheels, that was like an RV. It was a Snap-on tool truck.
Yeah.
Which I bought it in Spring Hill.
Yeah.
Off of some guy that, I don't know if he got out of the business or he bought a new truck, but he wanted like $8,000 for it. I says, all I got is $4,000. He asked his wife, she says, take it.
Right.
I paid $4,000 for the truck, but then $100,000.
But then a lot to
$100,000 to convert it into a top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that pizza truck and Joey, my dad, was in the movie Animal Crackers?
No.
So Scott Christian Sava is a very good family friend of ours, and he is the creator of the cartoon Animal Crackers.
Okay.
He's a local here. He lives in Franklin.
I feel like I know this.
California.
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
And he's amazing. Him and his family, his wife Donna and 2 boys. Well, anyways, so Scott used to come in, and Donna and the kids used to come into the Brentwood location all the time. And he was struggling financially a little bit. And he put this out all over TikTok, so you could look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. It's the
But
truth.
every time I watch the little skit, I cry because it's just so sweet. My mom and dad was like, they were like, where's Scott? Where's Donna? Where's the kids? We haven't seen them in like a month. Because they used to come in like once, twice a week.
Right.
And so they had their number and they gave them a call and they were just like, sorry, we're struggling. We're on food stamps. They were like,
they were financially struggling.
and they said, are you crazy? They said, my parents said, you better get back here and you're going to eat on us. You're going to, whatever you want, it's on us. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And I did this for the longest time. I fed them. I fed them.
And
then
that was our joy. We you know, they were like family.
Right.
Well, long story short, my father always told him, "You're going to make it big. I know it.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it big." Because he's a comic book artist, but now, I mean, he's really just a complete.
Well, he writes stories, and he's very intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
he's amazing,
awesome.
very artistic and intelligent. Well, long story short, he created it was the number 1 or number 2 movie. Number one during 2020. It was number 1 on Netflix, and my dad was driving the Joey's pizza truck.
And that was the Animal Crackers movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, and he was in the pizza truck driving.
And it said Joey's
Has a pizza.
Yeah.
With
And
the phone number,
everything.
The phone number, everything.
254 Joey.
Nice.
And people were coming from all over because of that movie too.
That's
was
hilarious.
Isn't that
amazing.
crazy?
That's crazy.
It was so crazy. And what's funny is it was right around the time when Portnoy came in. So it was like, oh
was
my
like a double whammy.
gosh. I'm like,
wow.
they want to kill us.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. Do you have a connection to Portnoy and bring them back and say, hey, we're back
You
here?
know what?
I swear I was thinking that.
Right.
I really was thinking about doing
Let
that.
me tell you. So Portnoy, I think he,
I don't think Portnoy buys the same real estate twice.
no, I just want him to come back.
It's worth an ask.
No,
I don't care about the score. I just want him to come back
We
and
don't
see,
care about that.
you know, come and see the new venue.
Put
and-
on an event for him.
Yeah, put on an event for
Right.
him, and also to come and check out the new catering kitchen and
Yeah.
the pizza ovens. It's beautiful. So, but anyway, I had written to him on Instagram to thank him and everything for coming, but he never saw the message.
He
So-
probably gets blown up constantly.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
probably.
could you
that's another thing.
imagine how many
Yeah, it's,
people write him? Oh my
but
God.
you never know until you ask. That's how I teach my
Right.
kids that all the time.
Oh,
It's much to my
absolutely.
detriment.
Absolutely.
But they,
I read somewhere they said anywhere you go, ask for a discount. Ask for like a senior discount. So now I'm making a fool of myself everywhere I go. I'm like, do you get senior discount? They're like, no.
you guys aren't seniors. Come on, are you?
Yeah, I'm a
No.
senior, all right.
Really?
62.
That's not senior, is it?
No, he's 62. I'm going to be 60.
Yeah, you're still young.
So he's older.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that even over the years, you guys have accommodated a lot of local celebrities and people
yeah.
of note, famous people that have come in.
yeah.
You had all the pictures hung up on the wall.
Absolutely.
That's a contact. That's, hey.
Yes.
I mean, do you keep in contact with
But
people?
how am I
And-
going to keep in contact with them? They came in to eat.
Right.
It's not like we have their phone number
No,
at home.
I mean,
you know?
we can definitely,
I can.
I need to.
It's an Instagram play.
Yeah, it's an Instagram thing. We just have to. We're not really. We joke around. My mother says she's not tech sassy.
Yeah.
Like tech savvy,
Right.
and I'm not either really. But we need to get involved with a social media.
Yeah.
You
person.
guys almost. You ever see that movie Chef? John Favreau.
I think
it's
I've heard of it.
It's got like half the Marvel cast in it.
Yes.
Robert Downey Jr. is in it for a bit. Sofia Vergara's in it. John Favreau. John Leguizamo, and it's about a guy who's an LA chef. And he gets eviscerated in a review and goes off on the reviewer in the restaurant and ends up getting fired and everything, but he's a world-class chef.
Wow.
And somebody says, hey, what do you think about having a food truck?
Oh.
And he ends up going to Miami with his, and it's also like a father-son bonding type of
wow.
movie. So he drives, he goes into this food truck business
Yeah.
and says, well, what are we going to sell? And they had a meeting at Versailles in Little Havana.
Versailles?
And have you ever been there? It reminds me of like an old, Northeast old school diner.
Wow.
Remember those?
nice.
Like you used to go to
Absolutely.
it had that feel to it.
I miss those. I wish they
Miss
would
that.
build one in
Gosh.
Nashville.
Oh man.
You could
Amen.
eat at midnight. I mean, they got the Waffle House, but
That's
not
That's Southern
I know.
version of the diner.
I know.
It's not
Hey,
the
they
same.
changed
Look
the
over there.
waffles at the Waffle House. I got to be honest, they are awesome.
Really?
That they have new waffle.
I don't have the
makers.
waffles there. I do the.
No, you need to try the waffle now. It's different. It's
Really?
better. Yes, I commend them for their waffles now.
Oh,
But have you
Wow.
been to like a northeastern diner?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. But this waffle, I always
I
order my
grew up
waffle
with
well
that.
done because
Yeah.
I don't like it white and mushy.
Right.
But You don't even have to say that anymore because it comes out beautiful.
Really?
So congratulations.
So maybe
to
they
them.
changed their their kettles. Whatever.
Maybe they got a new waffle
They
maker.
did.
Maybe they cleaned it. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they cleaned it. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they said they changed them all over the country. They changed
Oh.
them. Yeah.
But
Okay.
at a Northeast diner, at least when I was part of my modus operandi on a Friday night would be, hey, we're all done. We had a good time. Let's go get some food.
Oh,
And
yes.
you go, and it was always poutine, which is basically French fries with gravy and cheese.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that ate that. I'm like, that looks utterly disgusting.
Yeah.
But until you have it, you're like, oh my gosh, this
It's
is just a
good.
heart attack on a plate, but it is so freaking delicious.
Good.
Yes.
A whole plate of that with a chocolate milkshake.
That's what.
Oh,
They
wonder why I
yes.
looked
You
the way
have
I
to
did.
have the milkshake.
Yeah.
That's what they said about the Gladiator. It's a heart attack waiting to happen.
But I mean, that's so the Versailles reminded me a lot of that. You know, we took the kids back in 2016 down to their first beach vacation and everything, had a great experience. And my wife wanted to go to Versailles. And I'm like, we're going off of 95 into downtown, the seedy parts of, I'm like, are the doors locked?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure about this place? She's like, I swear it's supposed to be great. And I'm like, okay. I said, is the life insurance paid up? We're good. And we arrive, walk in, and like, I'm finding out after the fact, the last time I was in South Florida, I told them the story. They were like, so how are you treated?
Right.
Like, so what happened? Because apparently when you go in, and if you're not Spanish or Cuban,
they don't treat you good.
They treat you like, okay, we got the gringos.
Right.
And we never got that impression, but my gosh, the food was so good. So the movie, one of the scenes takes place in that restaurant.
Oh.
And that's how he actually gets the inspiration to make a food truck based on solely Cuban sandwiches.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
And it's a great movie. I encourage you to watch it. A lot of reminders here of that.
Yes.
Because the kid
That's awesome.
embraces Twitter at the time, and all of a sudden they're just getting blown up with orders and everything like
Wow.
that. So same thing that you're
Yeah.
kind of talking about,
Yeah.
So where do you guys go from here? I mean, you're just kind of building the business, and you guys are still somewhat gluttons for punishment and want to stay in business. But that's purpose,
Yes.
right? You want to have purpose. Right?
No, I mean, really, it's been a wonderful experience. We've slowly but surely been advertising a lot.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go with the advertising, but it's a lot word of mouth.
Right.
And people are ecstatic to know that Joey's is still behind Maccavilla.
In spirit, for sure.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
in reality as well, because the food is being cooked fresh right there.
Right.
So all the events that we've booked already, I would say 95% of them is because they know Joey's.
Wow. That's
And
incredible.
like they were already booking up for 2025
Yeah.
Yes, we
for
already
their
have.
weddings.
I mean, go back to that day you moved, okay,
Yeah.
for real quick.
Yeah.
And look at the retrospective of what has happened over the past, now 38 years. Right?
Oh wow.
Think about that for a second. The impact you guys have had on this community. Do you ever think about that?
I just
This is
got
where
the
we get the
chills.
Kleenex out.
I know. I just got the chills. I really, sometimes when you're in the moment,
Yeah.
just working.
Right.
You're not thinking about that. You're not thinking all the effect you had on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stop, like when we stopped, about 2 years now, is when I realized, oh my gosh, we really were loved by so many people
Look at what you built.
and what we built. Yes.
Listen to this. So
It's
I
just
didn't
amazing.
realize
Like we never thought that.
we announced that we were closing.
Oh, God.
April 12th, 2022.
2022?
2. Yeah.
So our first wedding is April 12th.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
And that's just so crazy. Like I get the chills because it's just amazing to
Well,
me.
they found out April 12th, but not that we announced it because you put a sign on the gate.
No, but
Right,
it was
that
April
was-
12th,
that
Poppy.
was the
last day
day.
was April 8th, Friday.
Are you
Our
sure about
it was-
that?
I think it was April 8th. We closed, and then they on Monday.
hit the fan. I don't want to say shit hit the fan.
Just do it. That's fine.
All the news networks were trying to contact me. I was like, how did they get my number?
Wow. Oh, because people saw that it closed.
Yes.
So you didn't have any ramp up to that, or hey, we're closing in 2 months.
No. See, the problem
We were
is
not going to announce our closing, otherwise it would have been too much.
Right.
Yeah, and
So people showed up. Hey, we're just done.
Yeah.
Crying.
Wow.
It was on the news.
yeah,
People were crying.
Wow.
God
like in their
bless them.
cars. Like, I'm talking
It
grown
was
people
a
here.
Nashville tradition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were just crying. And then with the note that we left was that we will,
we have a new venture.
we have a
be
new
back.
venture. We will let you know, whatever.
They would
So
be back.
Channel 5 News was like, we want to know, know. So like we might let Channel 5 and Channel 2 know what we're doing.
It's so funny. There's so many businesses that fight tooth and nail to get that kind of PR.
I know.
And you're basically, no, we're not doing a reality show.
I know.
Maybe we'll let you in to tell our story, Channel 5, But that's because you built the relationships and you built this this legacy that just it was so impactful to the community.
It just came more like a natural thing, know. It was
You just did
more
what you
natural.
did. You did you.
Yeah. We did us and
I couldn't believe it. It was like breaking news.
yeah.
It wasn't even.
I know, it was on constantly.
Breaking news.
I was crying in the kitchen. I was just crying.
Family owned, has closed their doors, blah, 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 blah.
But I mean, do you still ever just look at pizza and go, I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to.
No, he loves
you
pizza.
still do?
No, we make it all the time at the menu.
Do you? Well, I mean, I know
we
that,
make it
but I'm saying that,
He loves pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a pizza man. Like from the day he
Through
was
and through.
born, he loves pizza. That's it.
I eat a lot of Jets pizza, I'll be honest.
Do you?
Yeah.
The square.
Yeah. It's not bad, for
Oh,
fast
he
food
likes
pizza.
the square
it's not.
pizza. He likes it.
And we had what did we have? Pizza Hut last night, I think. It was just, something quick.
Well,
and
Just
we
a quick.
patronize. We like to patronize. Only, what we like, though.
Yeah.
So.
Were you guys ever familiar or know the people that own Valentino's downtown?
No.
I'm not even sure
No,
what
but
happened.
we
to that.
went there
No,
once,
we went there once.
and the food was awesome.
It was really good.
Yeah.
The people were so nice to us too, because the guy recognized us.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm going to treat you so good, you know?
yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank you so much, And he was a very nice waiter.
There was, we went in New York City this past time. The reason why we went up is my daughter sang in Carnegie Hall.
Oh, my God.
She went up over. She was chosen and everything.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So she, she doesn't understand the impact of it. Both my wife and I are like, this is Carnegie Hall. She goes, yeah.
Are you kidding?
She's 17.
Wow.
Well, God bless her. She's
Yeah.
humble.
She's
But
very
while we were
humble.
up there, it was like a little mini vacation for my wife and I.
Absolutely.
And we went to Italy.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Italy
Oh,
is good.
she was
That was
talking
good.
about that.
I
Oh
hope
my
Nashville
gosh.
gets in Italy.
I ate so much Italian food. It filled my
So
quota
good.
for 10 years.
It's so good.
Yeah, man.
They
She
do a
told
very
me
good
about
job.
it when
Yep.
she went to visit, and she goes, they need that in Nashville.
Well, they
totally
have it in California,
I know, but in Nashville, they don't.
New York, and I can't remember where else it is.
Well,
But
look, they
do.
got Whataburger.
Whataburger. What does that have to do with Italy?
I'm saying they can. Maybe Italy will come too.
Maybe.
Oh, I see.
And
You're
what's the
hilarious.
We're
name
getting
of
an
the
In-N-Out
place called?
burger.
Right.
In-N-Out, yeah.
I never understood In-N-Out. I don't get it.
Yeah. No comment.
But
I'll comment. We're probably aligned in that, but it's one of those things that I'm like, I've had it several times. It's a burger place. It's decent.
But I gotta say, Five Guys is better.
Five Guys?
Yeah.
Really?
But I told the guy at Five Guys, I says, I went to Whataburger with 3 of my friends, and I treated.
yeah.
And it came out to be $39.
Wow.
And it wasn't bad. It was very good, actually. And we
Right.
had fries, drinks, and everything. Over here, a hamburger and fries, a lady had to lend me $1.
Wow.
Yeah, because their
Five Guys.
computers were down.
It was
Couldn't use-
21.16.
Wow. For one meal.
Yeah, and he didn't upsize his fries.
So
It's a small one.
the guy goes, I'll let the cents go, but I need the $1. And I looked at the lady. I go, could you help me out? She goes, absolutely. I go, thank you, man. I go, remember this day, because what goes around comes around.
Right. I'm actually
Oh my
for burger.
goodness.
I'm not a big burger guy anymore because it's a gut bomb for me at this
Right.
age where
Right.
you eat it and you're like to sleep an hour later.
Yeah.
Culver's. They make a good burger.
Oh, Comfort.
Really?
You know who I love?
Who's that?
Okay, so Jack Brown's. Have you heard of Jack Brown's?
No.
Very good burger.
Really?
I really love the Cobra Kai. So they put cream cheese and jalapeno jam on it.
Wow.
I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's a great combination.
No, it sounds good.
It's such a good combination. They're kind of like smash burgers.
Yeah.
And I like to have like this special sauce that you can put on your French fries.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's like you guys ever go to Ocean City, Maryland, and when you lived up there?
No.
We went to, where did we go? Not Maryland. We went somewhere else.
Delaware. There's Ocean City, Delaware, too, or New Jersey. Ocean City, Jersey.
Yeah.
But we used to vacation out there. There's a French fry place.
Oh, I love
What are they
fries.
called?
I love chips and fries.
Dogs.
Yeah. Nathan's hot dogs.
Yeah.
But this French fry place would put vinegar on the fries.
Oh,
I
Delicious.
heard about that.
Oh my God.
I've never done it. I've
It's
never
really
done
good.
that.
It's got to be the right kind of fry.
Is
though.
that
That's what I was
why
saying. Is it red vinegar or white?
It might be red.
That's it.
Yeah.
Red
I
wine
never knew
vinegar.
why they have those little bottles at the table at some
Right.
places. I'm like, what is that for?
Well,
Yeah.
you
There
know,
you go.
if you get one of my slices of pepperoni and you put balsamic vinegar on it,
I bet it's out of this world.
So good.
but it's got to be on a pepperoni slice.
Yeah, so
Put the
good.
balsamic on it, and then so good.
I mean, don't dare me. I'll take you up on it. So.
Yeah.
When you go to my daughter, just tell her, give me a slice with pepperoni with some balsamic on it.
Because I'm not a pepperoni guy.
I know. I just like, I'm a
Oh,
purist.
if you're not-
Me too.
Cheese.
It won't taste the same on a cheese
No,
pizza.
you don't want
No.
to.
You got to do it
You'll
on a
ruin a
pepperoni.
cheese pie like that.
Right.
Pepperoni.
It's got to be pepperoni.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son's a pepperoni. He loves pepperoni.
Okay.
Well, very good, guys. How do people find and follow you? You have a website, Instagram, all that stuff?
Yes. Maccavilla.com. And then the Maccavilla on Instagram.
Do I follow you guys? I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And then they can also follow us on Joey's House of Pizza on Instagram. It's like, a sister business of Maccavilla and Joey's is, united.
I'm following you now.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
I do this live as it happens. Very bad podcast host etiquette, but that's what I do.
Awesome.
Well, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Make sure you check all that. We're going to put all the details in the description, of course, and all that fun stuff. You'll be seeing, once this episode comes out, a lot of clips. I'm sure you're going to be seeing probably till August. All the stuff that we talked
nice.
about. And, of course, guys, please follow along if you liked what you heard. You know somebody that's a good opportunity or a good candidate for this particular podcast. Send them over to MMTBP.com. That's the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, where we talk to all great people in this thriving entrepreneurial community. MMTBP.com. Long overdue. Really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for coming
So
out.
much fun. Thank you.
Thank you
Have a
for
good time,
having
kid.
us, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.